action.
Hi everybody, it's Nolene down at Calico Mermaid, and for our summer sew-along, we are doing one of those stash busters. This is just one of the blocks behind me. You're gonna make 9 of these. So look at all these different colors that I've got rid of in my stash. So all you're gonna have to do to participate in this, to get your free pattern, is to buy some background from us. 2 yards of background and you'll get the free pattern for our sew-along. So, what are you gonna need after that? A lot of 1.5 inch strips, okay? And one thing about this pattern, we're gonna be cutting on the bias, or I should say sewing on the bias. So what do you wanna do? You want to starch your strips like crazy, okay? So we have 3 different ones for you to choose from. This is my personal favorite, and I have a little example here for you. This guy is what I starched with this, and it's still nice, but it's firm, okay? And it's got a nice even spray. The nozzle is awesome. It gives a nice even spray.
And what's that called?
Oh, sorry, Quilters Starch Savvy. Now these, this is not really starch. It is a starch alternative, so it's not plant-based, so you're not going to have any bugs hugging up on your quilts because they're not going to want to be eating this stuff, okay? The other one that I used also was this, Material Magic, and I did like it too, and it does give a nice even spray, but for me, it was really stiff. And I'm not sure that's how I would like to go, but if you like your fabric really stiff, because it will keep it nice and straight for you while you're sewing. And then of course our favorite, well, this was my favorite, I'm sorry, Best Press. I do love Best Press too because I use it all the time. And it's pretty much the only difference between the Best Press and the Quilters, the Starch Savvy for me was the spray nozzle. I just felt that this spray nozzle did it a lot easier, a more even spray. That was the only thing, because I love both products, okay? So, when I cut my 1.5 inch strips, I sprayed them with the starch, and then I let them dry, because if you don't let them dry and you go to iron it, you've a chance of getting white flakes and also of your fabric shrinking because you are heating up water, so it might shrink or wrinkle. So leave them completely dry and then press them. And then we are going to sew together. Okay, I should say for each block you're going to need 8 different colors. Okay, you can do, if you want to do it mix and match, you can. If not, but this is supposed to be a stash buster, so get those pieces out that you have don't know what to do with. So I've got 8 different colors. Look, I've already cut some, so 8 different colors, and they're all 1.5 inches, and we're going to sew them together. I did 2 at a time and then sew them, okay, the 2 together. You want to make sure that you have got a nice even seam. So if you've got a 1/4 inch foot on your machine, put it on there, and just try go slow. If you want to pin. If you don't have to. And get all those strips together. Now let me show you how we're going to cut it. Okay, are you ready, Georgia?
I am. I'm on it.
You're on it. Good job.
Woohoo!
Where'd I put my ruler? Oh, it's hiding. You need a ruler that's got a 45-degree angle. Or if you have one of these guys that you have in your drawer that you don't know what to use them for, they're 45 degree. They're the strip tube junior. You can, if you have the junior, or it just says the strip tube ruler, but I guess that's senior.
Yeah.
Either of those will work for you also. And I just used my ruler, my 45 degree. First thing we're gonna do, I believe my sewing seam is straighter than my cutting seam, so maybe, I don't know. So I put my 45-degree angle on my seam. That's just how it worked better for me, okay? So here we are, 45-degree angle. Yep. Every time. And cut. That's your first cut. That's just to clean up your sides to get it started. Now, the next cut, I'm just gonna put one of the lines right there where I cut, and that will be a 90-degree angle. Okay, there's your first cut. So you're gonna, and then the next cut it shows you to do is a 3 1/4 inch, I can never say this, parallelogram. Is that what it is? Okay.
That's right.
So it's a parallelogram, okay? I must have been sick that day in class. Okay, and there's your second cut. Now the next cut is going to be another triangle. So just from the point to top there, your 40, oh, where'd you go? Where'd you go, 45? There you are. Okay. 45-degree angle again. Whoops. So I've got my 45 on my seam, and then the side of my ruler is at the point, okay? And then the next one is another parallelogram, and that's again, you put the 3 1/4 inch mark where you just cut. Probably should have done, okay? So I believe you get 4 triangles and 4 parallelograms out of that strip. So we also have these guys from the other strip. And our first block that we do, we put those two together. That's block number 1, okay? Block number 2, okay, there you are. From your background, this is a 3 3/4 inch square that I cut on the diagonal. And this is very important. Here's your parallelogram. This is where I cut my, made my cut on the diagonal. That part that you cut is what you are going to line up on your parallelogram, okay? Usually when we put triangles on a block, we usually have 2 ears. We do it in the center, mark the centers, and so we've got 2 ears. On this one, you only want the 1 ear, okay? And you're gonna pin that, and you're gonna sew right down here. And it's the exact same on the other side. Look how my ears are on the opposite side.
That's important.
That's important, okay? So once you have those sewn on, you're just gonna press them. So you'll have a rectangle.
And
Okay.
show us that piece on the
Right
wall.
here. This is it right here. Okay, can you see how you
Yeah.
don't get too close?
I'm close. There we go.
Okay, so then, see I've got 2 different colors. You're gonna sew those together. Here is our, and I believe, don't quote me, it's a 6-inch square. It might be 6 1/2. I should have thought about that before I started the video, huh?
Ah, well.
Okay, so then once you have all of these made, it's like a giant 9-patch.
Oh,
Yeah. So this one with our squares, we're gonna sew this piece on. Let me tell you what size that one is. I do have those. 3 1/4 by 6. And then this one is a longer one, so you sew that to there and press. And I pressed to my background fabric. I know the rule is press to the dark. I pressed it because it'll lay flatter for you. And if you want to use some of that starch again at this stage, it'll keep your seams nice and flat also.
cool.
So, and then once I sew that together, then I sew this strip on. So that's one of your 9-patch, okay? These two, you do the exact same, and this is a 6-inch just square. So you're gonna sew the 3 together, the 3 together, the 3 together, and then like that.
Cute.
So this is just one, and the pattern you get it has the instructions for 9 of these. You just repeat it 8 more times. You can make it as big or as small as you like.
Very
It's
cool.
fun. One of the things I want to show you, the first one that I made, I didn't starch my strips.
Dun 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 dun.
Yeah, I lost all kinds of points, and
I
yeah.
don't think it looks so bad, but that's
It'll be
just
fine for a cradle quilt, but that's about it. Okay, I think that's it.
Well, thank you.
So come on in, get your background, and get your pattern, and have fun getting rid of some of those scraps.
Yay.
And we'll see you at the next sew along. Thanks,
Thank-
guys. Bye.
Bye-bye.